cricket is not going to be the same anymore, Virat Kohli, because he changed the way that India played Tests. And Australia series in particularly will be etched in our memories forever for anybody who watches Tests. But the ICC, let me just take you through some of the reactions that have come in. The ICC saying an era is over, an era ends as Virat Kohli retires from Test cricket. And, take a look at RCB, where Virat Kohli is the mainstay, and it actually describes what every Virat Kohli fan is going through currently. They first put a crown king and then putting a heartbreak for Virat Kohli. And, every few minutes we're seeing different tweets from the RCB that really sums up the sentiment of every Virat Kohli fan. Test cricket will never be the same again. They have also put out a GIF and they say, this is the mood right now. Absolutely depressed. The entire country, every cricket fan is feeling so right now. Then RCB just 3 minutes ago going on to say the walk, the shots, those expressions, the celebrations, we'll miss them all, with again a heart emoji and the crown emoji that is synonymous with Virat Kohli. Another cricketer who is also really showing the same emotion that the entire country is at the moment is Harbhajan Singh, who says, why retired? ? And he has tagged Virat Kohli as well, Meghna.
In fact, let me go across to Karishma. Karishma, Harbhajan Singh has asked the one question that I think all of us are wondering, and I'll take that yes, Karishma's there. Why retire?
Well, yes, Meghna, a lot of things must be going on Virat Kohli's mind, but just for our viewers' understanding, when we talk about the Border Gavaskar Trophy that happened last year, it did not go well India's way. In fact, in 9 innings, Virat Kohli just scored 190 runs. A lean patch is nothing that Virat Kohli can't come out of. He's done it in the past. He could have done it again. But what we understand is that in Australia itself, he had been thinking about retiring from Test cricket. He had been telling his teammates that he thinks he's done with Test cricket. Maybe he was not 100% certain then, but having time to think over it, having time to look into how he is playing, how his body is shaping up, given he is also entering his late 30s, he took the decision to sort of retire from Test cricket. And, we are talking about how BCCI tried to stop him. Well, they did have a conversation. They did try to have a conversation. Whenever things like these happen or conversations like these happen, the chairman of selector does sit across from the table from the cricketer, or it's virtual sometimes, and have a proper conversation about what the cricketer is thinking, what the board wants. There have been instances where the board has told some former cricketers now that, we will not be thinking about you as far as the cricket setup in India is concerned, so you can take your call accordingly. In this case, of course, it was different. There was a conversation where BCCI probably wanted him to take that flight to England because of the experience that he has, the good clarity he has when he is playing in England, but that did not happen. But the Indian team is also ready to move on from Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, as fans call them Roko. So this pair, end of an era as far as this pair is concerned in T20 cricket, in Test cricket as well. And in the coming weeks, you could very well be seeing Shubman Gill or KL Rahul being given the top responsibility as far as Test cricket is concerned. Remember, when Rahul Dravid was announced as the head coach of the Indian team, there was so much talk about transition and making a new Indian team. And now with Gautam Gambhir at the helm, that transition is finally going to happen in 2 formats, and probably for the first time ever, India will have 3 separate captains for 3 formats. So very, very interesting times ahead for Indian cricket after Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma both announced their Test retirement.
Well, absolutely. After Virat gone, Rohit gone, what next? In fact, I believe Shinjo Chaudhary wanted to come in. Shinjo, you were talking about the Australia match. At the time, we of course didn't know that that would be his last Test series. Is that the reason why? Did he take that step back because he wanted to go out on a high?
Well, one thing, if you look at Virat Kohli, overall, and you look at Indian cricket, if there is one batsman, perhaps after Dravid and before that Gavaskar, who you would want to bat for your life, it is Kohli. Because the determination he brought to the cricket field, because as a new Indian, as I call him, he knew how to stand and fight. And this is something which young Indians, cricketers will remember. perhaps BCCI could do something exceptional. They could take Kohli to England, not as a test cricketer, but as a mentor. Along with Gambhir, of course, is a very experienced cricketer. But Kohli has played so much cricket in England and so successfully, as has Rohit Sharma. Maybe one of the two, if one of the two is a mentor, like Jimmy Anderson is in the English team, that would be very useful perhaps, because a lot of young cricketers are probably in the running for the 16 or 17 players who would go, like Sai Sudarshan and people who are very talented, very bright players, but they haven't played as often in England as they could have. So there are people who are very good, and maybe if there is someone like Kohli around, a little bit of mentoring during those 5 tests, because now the structure of cricket has changed so much. If you've got a few runs, just a few runs in a test cricket, you don't have a first-class match against a county side to get back into form. You have to do it in some other way. And if that process of getting people back into form, you need someone like Kohli with his good technique. You need someone like Rohit Sharma. That is something that can be looked at. Because, of course, Gautam Gambhir will always be there. He's the boss. But someone like that, as a mentor, not strictly as a batting coach, but just as a mentor to hang around with the boys, may be a good idea.
In fact, let me go across to Arunil. Arunil, what next? It's not an easy question that the BCCI is staring at right now. What next? Two of the biggest greats of Indian cricket retiring from Test. Now you barely have 2 or 3 certains for the England Test.
Well, Meghna, Indian crickets, especially the batting team units' roots are very strong. When Sunil Gavaskar retired, the same question was asked. Then came in Sachin Tendulkar. When Sachin Tendulkar retired, the same question was asked. We were only discussing it. Then came in Virat Kohli. Now again, there are many youngsters, be it Yashasvi Jaiswal, who's doing exceedingly well. There is Shubman Gill, who has been seen as a captaincy material. There is KL Rahul as well. There are several other young talents. One is Sai Sudarshan, who did exceedingly well, showing very good technique during his IPL matches. There are basically the batting talent that is available in India is immense, and we can hope that some of them will live up to the expectations of the fans. Some of them will get into the record books. Why record books? Because Virat Kohli here joins with the other greats. The one is Sachin Tendulkar on the top, then Rahul Dravid second, third is Sunil Gavaskar, and fourth is Virat Kohli with respect to the numbers they have scored in the test format. Many great players have played for this great nation in the 5-day format, but there is a very good worth of Indian young talent that is available for our disposal. How they perform in England, that we'll be keenly watching out for. It will be interesting to watch as well. But yes, this is also a time to celebrate the massive legacy of Virat Kohli. He is somebody who's not only a great batsman, but he played the game with utmost aggression. He gave it back to the Aussies in their own language, and the Aussies seemed scared of him whenever they wanted to sledge the Indian players. Virat Kohli gave it back to them, and he also won an important series down under. He was part of another test squad that again beat the Australians in their home country, that is Australia. Many home series victories. He took India to the World Test Championship final as well. Extremely modern day great with respect to batsmanship, but when it comes to leadership as well, Virat Kohli's name will be taken in high regards when it comes to Indian cricket in the 5-day format.
Right, he's donned the whites for the last 14 years. As we bid him adieu, it's important that we also look at the legacy that he's left behind. Of course, not just been a run machine, but he's someone who's led with grace, and he's brought aggression back to the format. In fact, this is what BCCI said. Let me read it out for you. In a post, they say, "Thank you, Virat Kohli," comes with lots of high fives. An era ends in Test cricket, but the legacy will continue forever. Virat Kohli, the former India team captain, retires from Test cricket. His contributions to Team India will forever be cherished. And then there is applause coming in with a picture of Virat Kohli in ahead of his test events. In fact, we are going to be getting this. Is going to be one of our top focus stories. Thank you so much everyone for joining us. Karishma, Srinjoy, Arunil as well as Pratibha with all the details. And of course, a big thank you to the family of Virat Kohli for joining us here on Times Now.